Hello and welcome once again to Infusion Now. I'm your host, Dr. Dave Park, president of Infusion Ministries. Have a very special guest today, our international director of Infusion Ministries, Rosalia Hoyt. Rosalia, welcome.
Thank you.
Rosalia is in charge and the director of our Latino ministries, but also our international ministries. You may not be aware, but we have offices in Belfast, Ireland, and relationships with friends there. We have, when I say offices, I really, with a little more integrity, want to say there's a couple there that we love that shares the Infusion Ministries.
Exactly. I love
And
that. Yes.
we have another staff member in Jerusalem,
Nabil.
in Israel, Nabil
Yes,
Court.
Nabil.
And we've got Chemnitz, East Germany.
Regine.
Yeah, Regina
Yes.
is there. And,
Awesome,
start
Regine.
hearing these spots of Belfast, Ireland, East Germany, Jerusalem. They're kind of volatile areas of the world, and yet the Lord's given us some folks there to share the message of identity and freedom.
Yes.
We have two in Argentina. Who are they?
Melissa Leiva, love the beautiful lady, and Nico Spies with Debbie, his wife and family. And
Awesome. And then we've got our Latino director over
Yes.
all of Latin America, which is Cesar Ferrero.
Cesar Ferrero.
Hail
Yes.
Caesar,
Yes,
we often
exactly.
say. And he's in Panama.
Exactly. Love Panama. Beautiful city. We went this year to Panama.
Yes.
And you were doing a conference, and it was really awesome.
We started to see some of the COVID restrictions lift,
my
and
goodness.
we had clearance to go there. We
Yes.
discovered, though, just a few days before we went,
Exactly.
that they changed the entrance laws again.
Exactly.
And we were quarantined for 4 days
You-
unless you had the shots, which Rosalia had, and I did not.
Yeah.
So I was in COVID jail for 4
Yes.
days.
Well-
But Rosalia rescued me. She brought me M&Ms
Yes.
and Coca-Cola. You even found Dr.
Ice
Pepper.
creams. Yes, ice cream, chocolate, and
Oh.
and the strawberry and langostinos.
That was awesome.
It was beautiful.
Well, when she says those shrimp, it's just a whole different world when you're down there
Exactly.
in that part of the world.
Exactly.
Well, Rosalia, we'd
Yeah.
like to learn a little bit about you. When I think of you, Rosalia, what comes to my mind is that portion of Scripture from Philippians chapter 2, targeting in on verse 3. Do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility of mind, let each of you regard one another as more important than themselves. And Rosalia, I just see that's your verse to me. I see you
beautiful.
putting everybody first, and
Thank you.
so much love and so much energy toward loving others. And it's difficult when it's a distant relationship, when you're here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and they're in Belfast, or they're in East Germany, or they're in San Francisco, Argentina, or Cordoba.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in that kind of relationship, it's important that we maintain communication
Yes.
and we maintain connectedness and
Yes.
loving them. How do you do that?
Well, this is a journey that the Lord gave me those gifts and passion to love other cultures, to love other peoples, and go to live in another culture, and very easy to
Well, you've lived a lot of different places, haven't you? Tell me some of the places
Well,
that you and Edward have lived and
I have
called
been
home.
living in 7 countries and 7 cities different, in Switzerland, in Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Caracas.
Well, we hear
Ciudad
Venezuela, and
Bolívar.
that puts a little shiver down our back, but that was a different time, wasn't it?
Totally
Yeah.
different. Mexico City. I am Mexican. I grew up in Mexico and studied in Mexico. All my family in Mexico, and I went to Switzerland and come back to Mexico. Marriage with Edward, and I have my baby Marianne there in Mexico, and also living in Kansas City, living in Maidenhead, UK. And then here in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Wow.
And I didn't know existed.
So you're an international girl.
And my husband asked me, I need a woman that loves international life. And I said, I don't know how to live international, but I love you, and I'm doing, and you learn.
You've adapted well to those circumstances, and it really serves you in ministry
Yes.
because you
Yes.
can relate to what
Yes.
our international folks are experiencing and helping them stay connected to Infusion Ministries, as we affectionately call ourselves, the mothership.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so,
And
how do you communicate with, say, Nico down in San Francisco? What are some of the things and technologies that you use?
well, right now, WhatsApp,
Mm-hmm.
Zoom, we have our meetings, international meetings. Thank you, Zoom. And it's incredible because there are different hours and they are there. All of us, we try to connect them in the middle of the day and we have 1 hour Zoom with them or WhatsApp or communicate or send emails. But if we need to talk, we really talk. I don't care it is in the morning, it's in the afternoon, it's in the middle of the day, it's sometimes in the weekends. Is living with them and building a relation with
Mm-hmm.
them, and I like that. I
Well,
am not.
each of those staff members, in their own language,
Oh yes,
teaches the principles of identity and freedom,
yes,
and often we have workbooks that are translated into their languages.
yes,
So we have, in addition to the English versions of Identity, Freedom, and Journey, we have them in Spanish, don't we?
yes, yes. We have in Spanish, and the good news is that COVID really helped us to push Infusion to put our books in Amazon.
Mm.
And it was concern for us how we are going to send books to Argentina. It's very expensive, or Panama, or Mexico, or Germany. But right now, all people can buy in Amazon
Both in English and
and,
Spanish.
and digital.
Yeah.
You can find in digital, and we have versions in English and in Spanish. And for
We
us,
even
that
have a version in German,
yes,
but we need to get that on Amazon, don't
exactly.
we? I mean,
Yes,
it can
yeah,
kind of get overwhelming. There's so much that needs to be done
definitely.
in becoming a global ministry.
Yes.
Do you ever feel overwhelmed?
For
You know, that there's so much to do. How can I care for, Belfast? And that's a completely different culture than Germany and a completely different culture than Israel.
something that really the Lord gave to me when you asked me to work with Infusion International. I said, yes, I love different cultures. I love eat different foods. I love to adaptation for a Europe style life or American or Latin America. But something that the Lord put me since the beginning was unity.
Mm.
And I learned that in my journey. I am a part of the family of God. And I love my family in Mexico. I desperately love them. But I am a child of God. My family is, you are my brother.
See.
And I would like to contact them more time, but the Lord almost bring me to say unity.
Mm.
When we are together, we bring more, and why only Rosalia needs to know everything about what happened in Germany or in Melissa with Cordova. If all of us we are listen, all of us we are stand with them to pray. We love them, or not only my heart, but maybe Gail or Kurt or you have something to do in the spirit to our friends or
Yeah.
Nabil. That is something that is in unity.
Mm. One of the parts of our DNA at Infusion is not necessarily to have an export of Americanism and all that is America and all that
Yes.
is
Yeah.
America's version of Christianity.
No.
But we try to allow
Yes.
the respect and the dignity of those cultures. And what we want to really share is truth.
Yes.
And truth's about identity and truth's
Yes.
about freedom. But we want every nation to keep that which is unique and special to them.
Yes.
And boy, they're unique, aren't they?
Yes.
Each nation and each associate staff member that we have
Yes.
is just like a different color of the rainbow or a different flavor of ice cream,
Yes.
as I could say that. And I just think you do a masterful job in communicating with them and loving them well.
Yes.
But this word unity, it's something that the enemy wants to fight against. And sometimes
Yeah.
with COVID,
Yes.
we really got hit hard
Yes.
in the sense that normally we are visiting
Yes.
them and they are visiting us.
Yes.
And so we try literally to get staff members
Yes.
to come to Knoxville and We have a Latino training that we'll talk about in our next
Yes,
episode
yes.
in detail. But we look forward to that. But with COVID, we were really shut down for a year and a half. How did you compensate during that time to help meet the needs of communication and the distance?
We didn't stop. We really didn't stop. We continue. We continue in our Zoom meetings, or we continue in sending or chatting or
So instead of live events, we went to Zoom events.
exactly.
And so
Exactly.
the last Latino training that we had, which we've kind of been playing with Zoom, but when COVID hit, it was a necessity. Because normally we bring pastors and leaders to Knoxville. They couldn't come, so we went to them.
And I want to make an talk about something that you asked me. Do you feel overwhelmed with those countries and those people? And I would say I have been learned that everything we are doing is in the agendas, God's agendas.
Mm.
If he says it and he's open the door, we are going to Panama. He prepared us and go to Panama. And we are going to Belfast. He will say when is the moment and when is the time. And last year I was not expecting like this, but the Lord says yes, we will have Epic Latino, and we will and He will was open doors, and we have 14 countries to participate.
Wow.
And
And how many churches? Was it 40?
42
42.
ministries and churches participate, and in an event that normally is 30 people here in our beautiful church, in our beautiful venue, and try them, hosting them food and everything. But we have really the blessing to give to 200 people that message about identity and freedom. And I was like, Lord, really is you. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we would like you to be praying for Rosalia.
Say.
We would like to ask you to consider praying for each of our sites, Belfast, Ireland.
Yeah.
We want you to be praying for East Germany and Regina, the Bustards in Belfast, Ireland, Nabil Court in Israel, for Nico and Melissa in
Yes.
Argentina, and for Cesar in
Yes.
Panama. But please pray for Rosalia. We covet your prayers.
And you say also international is Pennsylvania with Jan Long.
That's true.
And South Dakota
With David. With David,
Johnston. And they are part of our international team too.
Awesome. So
Yes.
pray for this team. If you'd like to learn more about it, please go to our website
Yes.
at InfusionNow.org. Until next time, God bless you and keep you, make his face to shine upon you, and give you peace.
Thank you. Bless you.